Everyone from Studio 10 in Kilkenny. Coffee with Ania, but also with Samanta today. Hello, Samanta.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Brilliant. We're going to talk a little bit about women's life maybe today, yeah? About our experience in the life.
Definitely, yes.
Where are you from first?
I am originally from Latvia, but I am living in a Thai.
How long?
In a Thai, I'm living about 8 years now. Yeah, but I'm in Ireland 16 this summer.
Oh wow, that's a long time. Did you came in with your parents?
No, I came here on my own with my son, who was 1 at the time.
Okay, because you look very young. How old are you? I have to ask. I'm sorry. I know we can't ask the
I'm
women.
32.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really nice. Yeah, well done. You look perfect. Do you have just one child?
No, I don't. I have 4.
4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Busy mom.
Busy, yeah.
Do you work as well, or just like a housework? That's tough work as well.
Yeah, I do a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, I do a couple of things, definitely.
Okay, tell me more.
Well, I am, of course, first of all, I'm a mom at home, and I look after my kids, and I also look after elderly at their home, providing help for them, and yeah, just helping elderly people. And I am trying to start my own business with my friends, but that's a topic for a different day.
Okay, that's interesting. I think so we can talk again about this.
Definitely.
Why you moved to Ireland? Why you made that decision?
I was 18, and I didn't feel like I fit in, and I didn't feel like that's my place to be. So I just wanted to try something different. And I had a friend here, and I actually came to visit, but I stayed. So that's how I came.
But you was very young, and especially like a young woman with a small child.
Yes, definitely. I didn't have the best start in life back in Latvia, so I think that probably did had some sort of impact on my decision as well to move to Ireland. But yeah, I wouldn't change it for anything. So.
Do you have a good life now?
I do, yeah. I consider it a good life, yes.
And are you happy?
I am, yes, definitely.
You always was happy in your life, or you have some situation when you really want to run away?
Yeah, no, I was not always happy for sure. I had tough times as well that I went through whilst I was in Ireland. Yeah, so it wasn't always this happy for sure.
But when we throw back when you was a child, it was a normal life, like growing in your country, a little girl at home.
Yeah, no, I don't. Now as a grown up, I definitely do see that it wasn't, as you say, normal life. Definitely, there was loads of ups and downs in my childhood, and that also is the reason. I believe it's the reason why I had tough times later in my life because of what I experienced as a child.
I think it's always like when we are kids and this is what we have, we think this is right.
Yeah.
This is like supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You don't know any different. Of course, it's programmed in you. That's all you know. So that's your normal, for sure. Yeah.
But how you found it? It's everything what's happening around you. It's not normal.
Yeah. I didn't really think it's not normal. I just had this gut feeling that I felt like I want more for my own child when I had my son. I had my son at 17, and I started to see that his life might have go the very same way as mine did, and he might have the same childhood as I did if I don't change things up. And I didn't know that it's not normal or acceptable. I just knew that I want more for him.
And this is why you moved?
This is why I moved, yes.
Especially for him?
Yes, definitely, for sure.
Did anyone hurt you in the life when you was a child?
Yes, definitely. I think there were a lot of irresponsible adults around me when I grew up. And yeah, I think my father probably was the one who had the biggest impact on me as a child, because he had some mental health issues, and that leads to drinking problems, and drinking problems leads to aggression at home. And so he wasn't a nice man towards me and my brother and my mother as such. So definitely, yeah.
Yeah, it's sad actually, but I think so again, like every child, if they grow up in the house like this, they think this is like, that's my parents and I love them.
Yeah, definitely. I remember going to school thinking that everybody's life is like mine. You know, I saw my friends and everyone, and I just thought that this is exactly what's going on at home in their lives as well. I didn't see as, you know, my life is probably different than theirs. I did start to think about it when I got older, but not
Your brother is younger or
He's
older?
1 year younger than me, yes.
Younger. Do you have the situation when you have to protect him?
All the time. All the time, yes. I did find myself to be the protector, not only of my brother, but my parents as well. I was always the minder. I was always taking care of everyone and making sure that everyone is okay. And you know, I used to take care of my mom a lot, because when my dad was intoxicated, he would be quite aggressive towards my mom, and so I would have to take care of things then when they were not able to. Yeah, definitely. I was looking after everyone from very young age.
It's sad.
It is.
And how it's affecting your life? Do you have any problems, you know, with yourself, with confidence?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is that I didn't see this pattern, and I didn't know that it can impact my life. All I knew was that I don't want this for myself. I don't want it for my family, don't want it for my kids, don't want it for myself. But what happened was that I ended up in the very same situation as my mother was in. Obviously, I wasn't looking for it, but it's just the way things work. It just happened that I got into a really bad relationship. And I experienced domestic violence, quite severe domestic violence, for 8 years. And so I think when that relationship fell apart, finally, when I decided that enough is enough, I think that's when I started to look at how did I got here, and
how old was your son when you just moved?
When I moved to Ireland, he was one. He was one, yeah.
And do you make that decision in just like one moment, or you just prepare yourself?
No, that was literally one day. I came to Ireland with a handbag full of my son's clothes, whatever I was wearing, and our passport. That's it. I didn't have anything for myself. I was not prepared to do this at all. I just got the offer to come to Ireland.
But you saved your life on him.
I did, yeah, I believe I did, for sure, yes.
Amazing, actually. I know the few story like yours.
Okay.
From my even like childhood.
Yes.
I grew up in the, you know, like a big city, different families in the estate, and I think so. It's always very hard, and sometimes the kids from the families where it's like alcohol or and like abuse, they are not thinking about themselves. They are enough good for anything in the life. Do you have the situation when someone told you like you are not good, like you are not enough good, you will never make a success in your life because you're not worth anything?
Okay. No, I didn't have anybody directly telling me as a child that that's what it is. What I did had was my mom recognizing the fact that I'm a strong person from very early age, and voicing that and telling me that that's the case, that, you know, I'll be fine, because there came a time in our lives where my mother had to make really tough decision of which one of her kids, because she was a single mom obviously, which one of her kids sent to further education, because she could only afford one. And I remember that conversation when she came up to me and she sat on my bed and she said, I have to make this decision. And she made a decision that she is going to put forward my brother instead of me. Although I was first in line, I was older than him, she still made that decision because...
What was your feeling in that moment?
my world came crashing down that moment because I had big plans for myself and I was looking forward to it. And I felt alone at that moment. But then she said something interesting. She said, I have to do this because I know you will be okay. And he won't. And I always remember that. And then, so as I was going through tough times in my life, I do remember that sentence that my mother always told me, and that, she had so much faith. Yeah, she had so much faith in me, and rightly so. I was always okay, even if I did go through, horrible times in my life. I was okay in the end, and I did it on my own. There was no help or nobody came to save me. I did it myself. Yeah.
Do you think that situation they make you strong?
Absolutely.
Do you feel like a strong woman?
Definitely, I do, 100%, yes. I wouldn't change it, even though there was a lot of abuse in my life and I was made to feel like I'm worth nothing by grown men. Not as a child, really, I didn't feel that. I feel like I wouldn't change it. If somebody gave me the chance to go through that again, I definitely would, because it has made me the strong person that I'm now, and I can cope with everything now, and I probably wouldn't if I didn't go through such an experience.
Do you have a contact with your parents?
My father passed away sadly 5 years ago, but yeah, I do keep in touch with my mom, yes.
Good. And how she feel now after all, when you are here, you have a kids?
Yeah, she came visit me last year actually.
She must be very proud of you.
That's
a big step, to be honest.
It is a big step. Yeah, my mom still thinks that I am a strong person. I don't know whether or not she's proud of me. She has never said that. But I do know she keeps telling me that you're such a strong person and I wouldn't be able to do what you're doing with 4 kids and stuff. Yeah, so...
Because it's a hard decision. And I think so sometimes it's also what kind of help we can get from the government. The very lot of actually women, they can't run away like from my country, or they can't make that decision in Poland because there is maybe not big support. I think so in Ireland, Ireland gave like a huge support for the single mothers.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, that's a good question. The support, I feel like the biggest support that I got was when I finally told somebody what's going on at home with my abusive partner at the time. That's when everyone chipped in and, tried to get me out of that situation. And I did go to women's refuge 3 times, but every time I went back to him because that's just the pattern that women might develop with, abusive partners. It's just the way it is. So I did go back 3 times. And every time I went back to them asking for help again, they were there for me. Nobody judged, nobody, said a single thing or didn't give up on me saying that you were just going to go back, which would be definitely the case back in our countries. I can easily see that being the case,
There was actually a few days ago the case in Poland. The little boy, I think so 8 years old, he died.
Okay.
Very bad abuse at home. He was beating and he died because there was too much damage in his body and there was for long term not healing. And at the moment, like everyone just showed the picture of that boy and the people say like how the story is sad. But again, I say, what's wrong is in that one country? If something's happened, no one react.
Yeah, nobody heard.
Exactly. Like I think so. Ireland is amazing in that stage because here you can get a very quick reaction.
Yes.
But sometimes I think like we need in the life like more empathy, but also the people afraid. Just go to the next door and they ask your neighbor, what happened? Are you alright?
Yes, no, definitely. I think that's I can easily see, and if you're living in an abusive home, you are first of all made to believe, you're brainwashed that nobody cares.
Yeah, and it's your fault.
Yes, I was made to believe that my family doesn't care, my friends don't care. I was not allowed to have phone or outside friendships or anything. I was physically locked in the house for 5 years with the kids. So every time he went to work, he would lock us in the house, and it was always for my own good. And I never questioned that because I was brainwashed that it is for my own good. So even if you did get the opportunity to go out and ask for help, you wouldn't, because you are just conditioned to believe whatever your abuser wants you to believe. So it's a big challenge to break that belief,
And what you can say to the women in the situation like that? What you would like to say to them?
I feel like I definitely did have that gut feeling that it's not right. And then I also had a friend who kept telling me that it's not right. And I think you just have to, trust that gut feeling that it's not right, and just believe that you deserve more than that. Definitely just reach out to somebody, anybody. And even if the first person you reach out to, doesn't help you, you go to the next person, or you go the next one after that, and eventually you just get out.
Did he ever try found you?
He did, yeah, he did, but he never tried anything after the incident that we had with him, because he was afraid, because I had a great support system around me at the time, and I found myself surrounded by people who were willing to help and in any way possible. So yeah, he was only a hero, a hero when I was in the house locked, and there was nobody around there. He wouldn't challenge other people. It was just he was abusing just me and the kids, nobody else. So he wouldn't even try. Yeah.
We can definitely say to the women when they are struggling with the situation like this, there is a hope.
Yeah. No,
because
definitely.
if you can make it,
yeah,
as a young woman with a little child,
yeah,
then every woman can make it.
yeah, no, 100% you can. Yeah, I didn't believe that I could. I really didn't see a way out. There was no way out. And I was 8 years in, and the day came, and I did plan of escaping at some stage. I did plan it, but you never feel like it's the right time, and then you're
Yes.
afraid, and but then the time came unexpectedly, when you the least expected the day to be D-Day. But it's definitely possible, 100%.
I used to have a friend, and she was living with the guy for a long, long time. I think so, maybe like 8, 9 years.
Yeah.
And I just remember the situation when she starts changing every year, because that was again like abuse. It was terrible situation. He beating her, and she have to go to work, and even if she have some money, all the money she have to give it back to him. She was not allowed to keep any money, and even if she spent like a small amount for coffee or tea because she was freezing, there was a huge, arguments at home. Why? And I remember the time actually when I moved to Ireland, that was 18 years ago, I called to her and I say to her, I will buy for you a ticket. I will send you a ticket on the email. Just say to your parents where you're going, and just leave the house with your passport in the hand. And I was trying many, many, many times. But one day she told me, you do it that everything because he loves me.
Yes.
I was shocked actually.
Yeah.
I was like, girl, I remember you when you was like super strong, powerful woman, and now you can tell me that it's not a human. For me, it's like animal, like a monster, and he loves you. He doing that because he loves you. This is terrible.
Yeah, this is the conditioning, that it happens gradually. It doesn't happen one day. Nobody wakes up thinking that, if somebody beats me, it's love. It happens gradually
and the brainwash special.
Definitely, that's what it is. And I just find that, because I've been speaking to women in similar situations, and I just find that it never starts, almost never starts when you are a grown-up. It always starts somewhere back in your childhood, where maybe, your parents were, I smacked you because, I love you and I don't want you to do that. But that's how you start to condition the brain. So abuse naturally becomes love, That's what it is. Yeah, so it's a difficult.
I think so. That's amazing. Actually, you can share your story, because that's like a hope for the women in the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so, like, the more people supposed to say that loud.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the women, if they have like a 2, 3, 4 kids and they are at home, that kind of situation, they think there is no hope for me.
Yeah.
No one helped me.
Yeah.
I'm not deserved for anything else.
Yes, definitely. No, that's not true. I know for sure that there is help, and I know for sure that there are people who do care, and you can get yourself out of that hole, you know, no matter how bad the situation is. Because I broke through in 2016 from my abuser, and I was so lost because I didn't know, I didn't have skills or anything. The only thing that I knew how to do is to look after children, cook and clean. Those were my only skills that I did have, because I did meet him when I was 18 or 19 years old, so I was very young and naive, and so I didn't develop those adult skills that you know, anybody in a normal situation would have developed. I didn't have any of that, so I had to learn all of it at 26 with 3 small children. And I remember like it happened yesterday when he went away and we were finally on our own. My, at the time, 1-year-old spilled a bottle of Coke on the kitchen floor, and I was so lost in what do I have to do now, or how do I manage, or what's going on, that spilled Coke was there for 2 weeks on the floor. I couldn't bring myself to clean it up, and I was lost and I didn't know what to do. So yeah, you can definitely, no matter how bad the situation is, you can definitely do it for sure.
Did you ever struggle with depression?
No, I didn't. I'm not saying that depression is not real. I just feel like depression is optional. For me, at least, it's optional. I can always shake it off. We all feel depressed at times. I don't feel like depression is an option for me at all, because it's basically me telling me that I am unwell. So if it's not an option for me, I never did. I do feel anxious sometimes. I did only recently, I decided to work on myself and work on my issues and my trauma, and so I went to counseling and I got that looked at, just to see if somebody who knows more about the subject can help me and figure out what is happening to me, why do I struggle with anxiety now and then. And I did that, and I am feeling much better now, so definitely.
That's good.
Yeah.
I saw one day Instagram and Facebook,
Yeah.
like your page when you do with makeups and just chat about cosmetics and everything. What is it?
Oh yeah.
Is it like another hobby or?
It is, definitely it is. So after the whole, you know, abuse thing, I was like I said, I had no skills, and so what I did was I tried to pick up skills and fast. And I wanted to try everything, and I wanted to try everything I was not allowed, and so that's what I did, and makeup was one of the things.
Jokingly.
Yeah, so makeup was one of the things, definitely. And because when my mom made that decision to send my brothers to further education, not me, my dream was actually to become a makeup artist at that time. And when she said she can't do that, I was like, oh, this is never going to happen for me. It was sad. So when I was free, finally, I decided to have a look at it and just to see if I'm any good at it. And that's what it is. And I think that social media is a great outlet for, you know, engagement, and just to keep yourself occupied and show to other people how to do it. And that's what I did. I used social media.
Good. You have a partner? No.
I do, yes.
He's good for you?
He's very good for me.
That's good. Yeah.
Yes.
And do you have a lot of support from him?
I do, yes, I do. I think we support each other, for sure, yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting, everything what you say. And I say, like, it's amazing and it's sad as well. But this is how all the situation creates you like a strong woman. And I hope so you're gonna back to me definitely with your own business. We not say actually what is it, but I think so that will be a good for everyone. And we're gonna try to do something for my crew as well here. We have a fun. And I want to wish you like all the best in your life.
Thank you.
And you always will be happy, and you never coming back for any, bad situation.
No, definitely not.
And thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, and don't forget to subscribe Studio 10, and also go for the Instagram Coffee with Ania, and you can follow us where? On TikTok. Thank you very much. Bye.